Hello, welcome to the MCU Crew. It's Monday. We are not watching a movie tonight because we're going to be discussing Secret Invasion Episode 1, as whatever else is going on in the news of the MCU. There are some things, I suppose. We'll check in with folks first, though. Jesse Cox, how you doing? We were talking earlier. You have not pissed off the internet today. We live
Not
another
me.
day.
Fingers crossed. Day's not over yet, my man.
It's true.
Don't say
It's
that.
true.
Don't say that. It could be that.
we might have some scorched takes here in MCU Crew.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know.
You doing all right? Everything
Nice
good?
to be here. Excited to chat. Gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
Bronze.
Do we have a movie to place this week?
No,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
we
yes.
do. Iron Man 3. Yeah, we gotta discuss
Yeah,
that as
we
well.
gotta place
Thank you.
Iron Man.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
This is gonna be the easiest placement.
I think it will be. I think
It's not gonna be tough.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be that hard. Bronze, how you been? Everything good?
Yes, everything's good. I'm doing well. It's a little hot right now. Uncharacteristically hot this time of year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to Texas in a week, and it's supposed to be 113 heat index when I go. So I might just die, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens to me on that trip. Well, it might be a bad time. See what happens.
103. That's a little
Little hot.
it's a little hot.
Yeah. The water will be 80 degrees in the lake. That's how you know it's hot, when the water is like hot tub levels of temperature. It's
At that point, is it even worth jumping in to cool off?
maybe. I don't.
Good point.
I don't
Valid
know.
point.
I guess if anything, you would jump in to stay the fuck out of the sun, right? So you don't get sunburned to some
Oh,
degree.
yeah, y'all have to worry about that, huh?
That's true. Yeah, thank you for thinking of our plight there, Bronze. It's tough out here for us.
Yeah.
What are you shaking your head for, Jesse? We all know that
I
that's
get
a problem.
excited when I see sun because I'm like, I'm uncharacteristically pale this time of the year, you know? I'm like,
Genuine, real question for you, Bronze, and I mean this in
Yeah.
like a
Uh-oh.
curious way.
Well, here we go, guys.
Yeah.
We're getting canceled.
Yeah, this could be the thing that cancels me. As
Okay.
one of the whitest men who ever lived,
yeah.
if I'm out in the sun too long, I literally feel I know I've been in the sun too. Like my skin feels like, oh no, I'm burnt.
Yeah.
If you're gonna sass me for being so very white, I need to know: is this like a Jesse problem or is this a Bronze problem as well? Like if you're out in the sun, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm burning.
I don't think I've ever burned.
Yeah.
But like, do you feel literally like when you're out in the sun? Do you feel the rays of the sun literally penetrating your skin in a way that is not good? Like I'm sure
No.
JP has felt this, where it's just like,
Like,
oh no.
I like it. I definitely feel like a warmth, but it feels good. Like it doesn't feel. And I don't
That
get
is
to
not-
feel it
Oh
all the
no,
time.
that's man.
I've actually had
No.
a really in-depth conversation about this with one of my friends who's Black.
Yeah.
And I was talking to them because they got a job down in LA and we were talking, but they used to live in Seattle. And the both of us were talking about how in Seattle, the sun doesn't feel real. Like it feels like there's just a flashlight up there that someone's holding.
Okay.
And I was like,
sure.
whereas when I'm in India, that's where I get that like warmth where I'm like, I'm truly absorbing the sun's energy. So yeah, it's actually really hard for me to get some color. The last time I got some color was when I went to Hawaii like 3 years ago.
Oh.
Like I don't really get. And then for like
No.
3 weeks, everybody in my chat was like, why do you look so gorgeous? And I was like, because I finally am brown for the first time
Yeah, you
in
went
like
out in
8
the sun.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
went
like,
out
yeah,
in
I
the
don't-
sun for
I've
3
never, like,
days, and I got asked
peeled.
why I looked like a tomato because my skin was peeling. It was bad.
I've never
mine's roughly like
peeled.
15 minutes. If I'm out in the sun for 15 minutes without sunscreen, it is like,
It's not my
oh no,
wife.
what is
yeah.
happening? And then after that, I'm
Yeah.
red. And anything, an hour, sunburnt. Just that's it. I'm
You gotta
done.
be careful. You gotta be the sun.
Yeah,
The sun's
rough.
a motherfucker. I
I know
once
it's
Especially in LA,
possible
like-
to burn.
yeah. Yeah.
There'll be times
Like,
I'll
for
be in
my-
LA where I'll
for
just
my
like sit
people.
outside and like soak it in and feel good. And then in that, I'm going to say moment, my body's like, bro,
Uh,
you got to get out of this. It feels good. This is a trap, my man. You are about to roast, run. Like
I went,
it is, I don't know how to describe it. It is terrifying. We're like, my skin's just like, get out, dude. It shouldn't feel like this. You got to move, buddy.
when I was like
Oh yeah.
12 or 13, we went like floating on a river. And we were out there for like, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours. And I was a dumbass. And so I didn't use any sunscreen whatsoever. And I had first degree burns on my
Jesus.
neckline because I was out in the sun so long. And I had to go to the emergency room because I was in so much pain the following day that my skin was
See,
like cracked. Like it was literally cracked.
that's the thing that's the reason I think I'll never truly know like how badly I could burn, because I lived in India for half my life, and I did not wear sunscreen every day and still never burned, even though we have like that equatorial sun,
Right.
like the sun there's different.
Right.
We get darker but not burn. But I will also say this, most thisy people, we are not laying out in the sun the way y'all do over here. So that is actually something that's still confusing to me. When I walk around and I see people like
Sure.
rubbing baby oil on their legs and laying out in the sun, I'm just like, why? Why?
Why? Yeah.
Like, why? Like, who wants to be out there for like 3 hours? Like a little, like I'll have lunch on a patio. Like I like the sun, but I never am like, let me lay out outside. And because at that point I'm like, maybe I would burn, but I've never done that because it's just so strange to me.
Yeah.
Like the
Don't do
concept
it.
is like
I don't
so
recommend
weird.
it. I don't recommend it at all. That's how you get the skin cancers.
But
as
even now,
well.
when I'm walking around in Seattle, I'll see people, they're falling asleep and their back is like red,
Yeah.
like lipstick red. And I'm like,
They
ah!
can't. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. The sun will get you. The sun will get you. Well, how about this? Bronzy mentioned it already. And so I'll use that as the transition because Jesse also said it would be easy, and I agree with them. We watched Iron Man 3 last week. I think it's 26. I don't think anything changes. It's the best film
Yeah,
we've
no
watched.
change.
Yeah.
It's significantly
Yeah.
better than any of the other ones that we watched. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say
Which
this
is
is
wild.
this is the new like break point. I think for our list is
Agreed. Oh yeah.
At 26 the films start being good. Is that what I don't want to speak for all of us.
No, our middle of the pack is solid. We're not saying any like 26 to like 8 are solid films.
Okay.
Right? They're fine.
Yeah.
And then at the top, those are like the best of the best.
Right.
And then
right.
anything below, I think you're absolutely right, because like the difference, those bottom 6 comparatively to Iron, even the stuff I remember not liking about Iron Man 3, I was like, oh, this was great. This was fine. And I think looking back at it, like we did while we were watching it, Shang-Chi changed my entire perspective about what Iron Man 3's ending is and the reveal. Like, I actually am fine with it. It's clearly sucked at the time, but now, you know what? I'm fine. Totally fine with it.
Yeah. I agree. I don't have any other takes on it. Bronze, do you have anything to add? Or are we good? I think we both liked the film going in to begin with. So Jesse was the one that turned the new leaf, so to speak.
I like that trilogy, and I'm a little bit of an apologizer for that trilogy. I kind of agree with Jesse though, in that I remember when it came out, I decidedly didn't like it. Like I had decided at the time that I didn't like the suit. I didn't like that I still hate that final fight. Cuz there's like a perfect moment where I'm like, this is where it should end.
Yeah.
And then the movie keeps going. And what sucks is this is recurrent in all of the Iron Man movies. They
All the bosses
all
are
We
have
bad.
a
we did learn that about the first movie. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
they all have a moment where it's like, oh, this is where this movie should end. And then they like keep going.
Yeah.
But I looking back, I'm like, maybe we didn't know how good we had
Yeah, I mean, I'm really starting to think that the Ant-Man movies are gonna drop significantly.
Whoa, whoa,
Like,
whoa, whoa.
Really?
No,
you
not
I
know,
at
think
all.
it's gonna go up.
I
I think
think
you're
we're going up.
finally gonna stay awake during Ant-Man and the
I
Wasp, and
you
think
you're
think
gonna
we're
Ant-Man and the
going
realize
Wasp is
up.
it.
gonna be better? You think Ant-Man and the
Then
Wasp is gonna be better than Iron
Quantumania.
Man 3?
No. Do I think it will be better than Quantumania? Fucking yes,
Oh yeah.
bro.
I mean, like, I'll watch it and I'll finally get to see what the end of the movie is for the first time. Very excited about that. And yeah, we'll go from there. So who knows? It could be anything.
We'll see.
I had the
We'll see.
controversial take that I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp more than Ant-Man. First one. I'm curious to see if that holds true on a second watch because I've only seen Ant-Man once. So that's what I'm interested in is on a rewatch. If I'm like, this is better than the first movie, or if I'm like, no, it's not.
I'm genuinely dreading watching Quantumania again because I honestly feel like seeing it again, I'll be like, this actually does really suck. Like, not oh, that was disappointing. I'm worried it just sucks. And so that'll be fun. That'll be a fun watch along.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that movie.
I think it's we'll see. We gotta rewatch it. We gotta get there. We gotta get there. Let's jump into the news of the week.
Hell yeah.
There's not much. We do have some fun discussion points. And then a lot of the news honestly kind of revolves and hovers around Secret Invasion, so we can kind of add that into our discussion of Secret Invasion. I do want to start with this quote from James Gunn. He had a quote out there in it was a YouTube show. I'm not sure what show was this, so we can give proper. It was Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, who is formerly Lex Luthor of Jesse's favorite show of all time, Superman on CW. Back in the day. Smallville. Yeah. That's Michael
I
Rosenbaum.
do not like that.
Played Lex Luthor.
CW consistently produces some of my least favorite shows.
He's got a huge podcast now. Massive podcast.
Just the worst.
They had James Gunn on there. And one of the quotes that came out of that, there's been a lot of stuff that have been pulled from it, from the full interview. It's about an hour and 30, hour and 40 long. And James Gunn said, quote, "People have gotten really lazy with their superhero stories. I'm watching third acts of superhero films where I really just don't feel like there's a rhyme or reason to what's happening. I don't care about any of the characters." Curious what you all thought about that. Keeping in mind that we haven't seen The Flash, but apparently that film falls apart in third act. So it's a little interesting that that's what he decided to go with, but he didn't have anything. He didn't have his hand in that film, even though he is the head of DC. It was made before his time, I suppose. But I do think he's like, you can point to a lot of superhero films where he's correct, where the third acts just seem to fall apart. I thought it was interesting that he came out and said that, because now any film that he makes in the future is going to be judged, right? That way. He's put a target on all of his future films to come out, especially as the head of DC. But
right.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that, Jesse or Bronze? Apart then, it sounds like you agree.
I mean, currently, I think he's right on the money. I think watching a lot of his films, even lately, I don't know what's going on over on YouTube, but lately, a lot of people are starting to do react videos again to my Peacemaker. And so
weird.
They're in that. Yeah, I don't know why, but like they're starting to pop up. And so I'm slowly watching people who have never seen it before go through like certain scenes, and I'm like, and a noticeable thing is no matter what he's doing, he does try to inject some humanity and heart and like subvert expectations and things, and it's very obvious he keeps trying to do that. And I think perhaps Marvel's formula has gotten stale, but their idea of like subverting expectations is instead to do things like Thor: Love and Thunder, which did what they set out to do, but it wasn't like great. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a good attempt at it. They just were like, we're gonna let a director have the reins and like do something wacky, but it wasn't what those movies should be. And I think all of the stepping back and taking longer to put stuff out and reassessing things is good, and I hope they learned lessons from this. But it does seem like, yeah, I can understand why he would be like, yeah, superhero movies ain't shit right now, and it feels that way. I think a lot of the ones we've watched recently are kind of depressing, not because they're terrible, because it's just like not fun anymore. Like the fun's like killed out of it, and there's like a formula for humor. Like there's Marvel humor. It is a
Yeah.
thing
It's a
that
thing.
exists, and everyone knows what the tropes are. Like, there's a crazy action scene, and then someone pops a quip, or there's a moment that's really tension, and then someone like fart. It's not. It's the same thing
Mm.
every time, and I think people are just tired of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like this is really tired though, like especially because James Gunn has made movies that are all guilty of that.
Yeah, well, and he's
So
got an agenda, right? Like he's trying
like
to.
coming from him,
Of
it
course.
it sounds like it's like Oppenheimer being like, "Oh my gosh, guys, like did you ever think nuclear?" It's kind of like that where I'm like, "Bro, you were a big part of this. How the hell are you going to ass fuck the industry and then be like, wait a minute, why is the industry being ass fucked?" Because like
Yeah, yeah,
and you see this in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 especially. He did that one, right? I'm pretty sure he did that one. I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
if that's like when he was being fired or whatever.
No, that was after,
The 2 minutes he was
shortly
canceled.
after.
But that movie is especially guilty of that because the first one I liked it, the third one, the second one is so fucking guilty of the exact same stuff he's talking
Yeah, the
about
third
in
act
his
is the
own
worst.
quotes that I'm like, "Bro, how the hell are you?" It's like a Twitch streamer that makes React content complaining about React content while
Yeah.
watching Hell's Kitchen.
I would push
Yeah.
back that his that's like the formula he had to work in. And so no matter what director you
Yeah.
have, they're gonna make him do the Marvel formula. And when you see him work outside of it, it's vastly different, I think. He still has the comedy, he still has the stuff, but he also
Hmm.
adds his own flair to things. It
Referencing
makes it more fun.
Peacemaker,
And
Jesse, in that statement. You
what
think?
now?
Are you referencing kind of like what he did with Peacemaker?
I mean, even Suicide Squad.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Like,
that's right.
like
I totally
it's
forgot that
goofy
film
and silly,
existed.
but it's also still very him. You know what I mean? Like the humor, there's borderline gross out humor and like swear. It's like very not what Marvel is, and I think the problem is that they because it's under a Disney umbrella.
Yeah.
If you ever like go listen to someone talk about being a Disney cast member at like Disneyland and all the bullshit they have to deal with in order to even put on a dress.
Yeah.
Like where they make them watch the movie and repeat lines back to like it's so brand moldy that Marvel, I think, is in the same boat. Same with Star Wars and same with everything else where you can see glimpses of, oh, this could be amazing. And then they snatch it back up and turn it into whatever the hell it is that they think will sell best and work best and be unoffensive and that kind of thing, which is
Definitely true.
never going to be good in the end.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
to be fair, I also don't know the setup for the question, so he might have been responding to the question directly, as well. But
Yeah.
I think Bronze. I agree with Bronze as well, though. Like he is guilty of that one way or the other.
I mean, like, yeah, absolutely. But I think, again, that's because he was making movies for that company. You know what I mean? Like, it's a catch-22. Like, he can complain. Sure, he's guilty of it. But that's, there's so many directors working with them, and they're all doing the same damn thing. So I
Yeah.
have to believe that it's mandated from above that it needs to look or act and be this thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, truthfully.
I think I'm also just like a little tired of the superhero movies have gotten boring thing because I think in general like movies right now are really formulaic.
Right.
And that's largely because of like streaming has changed the game. Like and I talk about this all the time especially because its anniversary just came up, but Blade Runner was not a commercial success when it came out. It actually just barely made its money back. And now it's a cult classic and loved the world over.
Yeah.
But like that was not the case when it dropped. I think it cost like
Yeah.
30 million and it made 40 million, which I know people are gonna say it wasn't a flop. For studios, that's a flop. If it like the people that invested were hoping to not just make their money back, but make a lot more than that. So right now, like movies in general are kind of like in a hell place. because they can't make their money back with DVD sales and less so with rentals, which is why we're seeing so much protesting and stuff like that happening in terms of like, how do we make streamers more fair and equitable across the board, but also like, how do movies make money from streamers too? So yeah, we're getting like 18 movies that all kind of look the same or are remakes of another movie or are sequels to a movie that didn't really need a sequel. Um and it's, so I don't think it's fair to just put that on superhero movies.
Right.
Cuz I think that's why people love A24. Cuz A24 is like just making movies.
Yeah, they're
Like
they're they're kind of like pushing the envelope, so to speak. Yeah.
yeah, and people call them weird movies, but when I'm
They're
like, not
outside the
really.
norm, so in that they are weird
These
movies in terms of outside the norm, but
Yeah,
yeah.
like we were getting these movies like, 10 years ago we were getting these types of movies. We're just not getting them now.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well that's a really weird movie. Is it? Not really. They're just making normal movies that we used to get that
Yeah.
are not mainstream blockbusters that are guaranteed to make their money back because they have Jason Statham and The Rock in them. And
Yeah.
that's risky in this
God,
industry.
random tangent. Did you see today that TMZ reported that they're for God of War, for the Amazon Prime show God of War, that The
That's
Rock
what I'm
is
saying. That's
potentially going to be playing
that's what I'm
Kratos?
saying. We have a
What?
Uncharted.
Yeah.
We have an Uncharted, thing. And that's specifically why I called out Jason Statham and The Rock because like
They're in all of
we,
it.
they
Yeah.
have
Yeah, yeah. They're the
because
commodity.
they have such huge fan bases. They pull an international audience, right? So like yeah, God of War getting and to me it's a little funny because I'm just like,
That can't be real though, right? Like that's like a goof, right?
TMC reported it. They said that
who the fuck
he's
knows, man?
potentially in the running.
Like that's any executive should know that The Rock in anything is The Rock.
Yeah.
Like he's not Kratos. Like
I assume
if
it's
that's
just
real,
drumming
that's
up.
terrible casting.
I assume they're just drumming up like attention for the show. But still
Sure,
at the
but
same time,
The Rock is fine. I enjoy stuff he does, but like he's not,
he doesn't
he
make
wouldn't be
sense for that.
Kratos, and that would
Yeah.
be upsetting.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. On the topic of casting, this week, the casting for Clark and Lois in Superman Legacy, the future big Superman film from James Gunn, is going to be decided. So that might be a talking point over the next week. We'll see.
Genuinely hope it's people I have no clue who they are. I would love that.
There's
Big fan of someone being Superman and then being blown up to stardom. Let's make it happen.
apparently the Skarsgård brothers, Alexander and Bill, are on the short list to play Lex Luthor in the film.
Both work. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Both could do it. Yeah, I'm all right with
I
that.
can't tell any of them apart.
Look, that's just a problem that you have, Bronze. We've been over.
We've been over this. It's a white people problem. It's true.
Viewer.
It's true.
I am an avid viewer of Vikings, and I've seen like every freaking season, and I still don't know which one plays Floki. I'm like one of those weird.
Admittedly,
weird
after a while,
ones.
yeah. In Vikings, you're right. After a while,
I don't fucking know. How am I supposed to? The one that makes the boats. That Scar, like you have to tell me which role they're in at this point where I'm like, is it the boat making one or is it the Chernobyl one? Which one are you talking
Bill
about?
Skarsgård is the one that played Pennywise in It. He's like the most.
that is the absolute worst
Okay, so that's
thing
not
you
the
could have said. That helps in no
boat-making
way.
one. But also he's in so much prosthetic makeup.
Yeah, that helps in no way, dude. That's not helpful at all.
Stellan's in the film as the dad?
That's still not helpful, bro.
I'm done here. My work is done here. I have nothing else to say. Yeah. So we will see. I'm every time you get like a superhero on the level of like a Batman, or I don't really know if Marvel, I guess maybe Captain America's and Iron Man now, thanks to Robert Downey Jr. is on that level, but like Batman casting and Superman casting have always been like massive points of contention for audiences to debate and discuss. And so get ready for that whole discussion potentially over the next week.
Those were the big OG superhero movies.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
My chat over here is talking about which Skarsgård is better, and I'm gonna set the record straight. It's Stellan Skarsgård.
Stellan's
the best
he's the top
Skarsgård.
dog. You start
Yeah,
at the top
there's
of the
no
mountain,
better.
and it's
All
All
Stellan.
those other Skarsgårds, who cares about them?
Yeah,
It's the big dog. It's the big dog.
that's
He's the winner,
correct.
hands down.
Oh, the Chernobyl one.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
He's third. He's
the winner.
incredible. I mean, that film just like
the
breathe. Or
Chernobyl
the
Skarsgård is great.
that family just is all incredible actors, but Stellan without question.
Stellan's the best.
There's
Yeah,
so-
that man.
There's so
do
many
no
of
wrong.
them.
There's it's insane about. That's what I'm
It
saying.
is like a. It is kind of like a. Who? It wasn't. It was the Estevez, and I'm trying to think of the family. It was Estevez and
The Sheens. Michael?
Sheens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
from the 90s.
Yeah.
That whole family was just everywhere. Same thing, really.
And funny enough, Martin Sheen also the best Sheen. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, Dad Sheen,
Dad Sheen.
Dad Skarsgård, best. Yeah, easy
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best. He's the best. What else is going on? The Hollywood Walk of Fame, for some reason, just decided to like throw out a ton of people today. I think getting a Hollywood Walk of Fame. I don't know if it's Walk of Fame season. I don't know if that's a thing. My understanding of the whole process is that you actually have to buy a star.
You buy it. Yeah, you
it's
buy
like
a star.
$4,000 or $5,000.
Actually, it's not a buy. You donate to like the foundation or whatever it is, and
But you have to be
buy it.
asked to like. It's not that you can't just buy it inherently. I don't think you have to
It's
be
the same
asked.
thing as like if you go to a university and they send you a letter like, please support us, and you give them money, and then they post somewhere like, thanks to the contributions. It's the exact same vibe of like they clearly just asked for your money, you gave them money, but they're gonna say like, legitimately, it wasn't a transaction. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, and I think they cycle through stars. So some stars they
Maybe.
pull up and then put down other people because there's only so much walk space.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's only so big. So
Yeah.
every once in a while they'll put someone down, then pull someone up, and that kind of stuff.
Well, receiving it amongst other names, there's a bunch of them. Michelle Yeoh is one of them. Gal Gadot is getting one. Christina Ricci is getting one. Chris Pine's getting one. They're also giving one to Kevin Feige, who's getting a Hollywood Walk of Fame. And they're also giving a posthumous star to Chadwick Boseman, who will be getting his. I'm sure that they usually do like a little ceremony thing where the people, they usually have like a friend and then the person speak. And so I'm sure that stuff will be making the rounds whenever that happens.
Yeah,
on the internet.
absolutely.
And it'll probably be
And
pretty emotional for sure.
I think all those are fine. I mean,
Yeah.
if you actually ever go down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I'm letting you know half of those are like Tootsie Magoots, 1934. And you're like, I don't know who the hell this
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I did recently walk down there, and yeah, that's a
It's
lot,
a lot
them
of
are
names you do not
very-
know.
So,
You're like,
do-
what?
very old movies.
Do
yeah.
people do you take photos? Is that what you're supposed to do? Do you take photos?
Honest
with
to
the
God,
star?
yes. It is
Do you
touristy
like
as
post
shit.
up on the floor and like what do
JP,
you do?
have you been to like Hollywood? Have you ever done
No,
Hollywood?
I've always stayed away from it. I've
Let
been
me-
in
I-
LA
I know
countless
Bronze will
times.
agree with me on this.
But I've never been to
Staying away is the
Hollywood.
right move, but also it
Yeah.
is just
smells like piss.
not. Yeah, it's not cool. It stinks. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like people trying to swindle you for money, and there's like a lot of tourist traps that are like not good tourist traps, and then very expensive restaurants and bars and club venues and things. And then the walk is literally just like people see like, oh, that's Tootsie Magoots, and they'll take a photo with it, or they'll like pose
Yeah.
up with it, or weirdly enough,
Yeah.
some people will walk by and do quick snaps, like they don't want to seem like they're taking a photo.
Oh,
It's
so
a
they'll
weird
just have their
place,
phone,
dude. It's
like,
not cool
okay.
to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Weird.
not cool to go to, and the entire time I find myself down there, I'm always racked with like, and let me know if this baffles you too, Jesse. My mom couldn't get over that. I kept asking this question where I'm like, how is this place open? Because the rent down there is insane.
Oh,
But you'll
yeah.
have like
yeah, yeah.
8 shops selling the exact same thing, like fake Emmys or
Sure.
like fake Oscars. But there'll be like 8 shops, like back to back to back, huge. And I'm like, how do you pay your rent? How do you pay your rent?
Honest to God,
How do
I
you
think there
pay
are-
your rent? How
I
do
think
you
there are
pay
enough
your rent?
people. There's just enough people, I think, that go through there at any given time that if they buy one little stupid T-shirt or something,
That's
I
all it
have to
takes,
believe
yeah.
it's about numbers rather than quality of the product. They're just so many people cycle through.
Because
Like it
all
is.
the
It
stores down there
sucks.
sell the same thing, which is
Yeah.
wild. Because like LA shopping is goated. Like you have the coolest shops in LA, Jesse. I'll give you that. Seattle does not have the same shopping scene that y'all have
Thanks.
down
Built
there.
it myself.
But
Yeah.
like, except for that street that has utterly nothing of value.
Well, again, it's like a weird. It's one of those things where anytime someone comes to LA and they're like, "I want to see Hollywood," it's like, we'll drive through. Like I'll drive you through, then take you someplace better. Like it is not worth even being around.
Yeah.
Anywhere but there is so much better. It's just like a shitty place. It
Yeah.
sucks.
There's no good
Yeah.
places to eat. Like it's just
No.
it's not happening.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's-
some
you know
people
what it
enjoy
is?
it. Don't
It's
yuck
like
their yum.
someone said, "How do we make average Joe American think this is fancy?" And it,
Sure.
honest to God, is just like, "Damn, that's a giant Popeye's chicken. That's amazing looking." It's
See,
like
but
it's got two
Jesse,
stories, and it's like, wow, cool.
those same people would say that's all of California. Right?
No,
I
I
mean-
don't think that's fair.
I think to those people, I'm not saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's fair. I will. It has like, and let me know if you think I'm right, Jesse. But that specific spot of Hollywood has like real big. We tried to be Times Square, but we couldn't. Energy.
Times Square
they're-
sucks
the-
as well. Fuck Times Square. I've been there.
But Times Square
No,
has
but I mean, like this is like a step down even from that.
Yeah. Like Times Square has history to it. Like Times Square has been around
Yeah.
so long that there's like something about it that even though it kind of sucks and is way too expensive and it's touristy and dudes trying to sell you CDs or whatever, LA in Hollywood, it's the same vibe, but like the trashy version of it, which is hard to do.
So
It's not.
let's be distinct here. Are we talking like Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard, Fountain Avenue, Santa Monica Boulevard? Like what?
No, we're literally talking like that strip of Hollywood Boulevard that
In
is
front
like
of the Chinese
where the
theater.
walk
Yeah.
is, the Chinese
Got it.
theater.
Okay. All right.
You know, like where they have the fake statues of people you can take. That one section is trash. If you go to Santa Monica and you just take Santa Monica all the way down to the ocean, there's some cool shit on that road. If you're on, like, you can go over to Rodeo, you can go to Abbott Kinney. Abbott Kinney has like amazing shops. You can go like all over the city. You can go downtown. There's some cool shit downtown now. There's amazing stuff here. Just that one place that's the famous place.
And it
is
has all
truly
the
garbage.
stuff that you have from all the bad stuff that you have from Times Square. Like it has the costume people. It has
Sure.
the
Yeah,
people
yeah.
trying to sell you the CD. It has like it smells like piss. It has all the things, but just in that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it all.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get it. I don't get
it's
it.
just like it's like not a cool place to be. But at the same time, you go one street over, there's like a whole area of costume shops. You go another street over, and it's like all these things for like there's a this is legit, and this is my dream. There's a tailor up there, and it's this little old lady, and she gets Japanese denim shipped
yeah.
in, and she makes you custom jeans. And I'm like,
That's great.
I want like there's cool shit there, but the area, that one strip, is just the worst shit
Worst.
it sucks. Like genuinely sucks.
Okay.
And
There you
people
go.
love it. They're like, I can't wait to go there and see. Like, no, you don't. Don't do this to yourself. This
Well-
is like meeting the famous celebrity you found out they're a dick. Like, don't go. Don't do
Chadwick and Kevin Feige. I think John Favreau's got one. Robert Downey, I think, has had one. But don't go. Just admire from afar.
I think it's fun to be honored and it's fun to have a star, or like that's cute. But the place, like when the star goes down and they pick up all their shit and leave, some dude's peeing on that star that night. I promise you.
Yeah, it's like I can't impress how bad.
I think
it
that's
smells.
what they
Like,
have
it's-
the stars do, actually, but in the
Oh,
ceremony.
they just piss
It's
directly on
it's
it.
the honorary first piss. Yeah, everyone knows that. It's a custom. It's a big deal. Big deal there on Hollywood
Yeah.
Boulevard. I don't think Aubrey Plaza has a Hollywood star yet, but perhaps in Agatha, Coven of Chaos, she will get one. She was talking about the film with Hollywood Reporter. I keep forgetting that she's in this. And every time I do, I'm like elated because I love Aubrey Plaza, and Agatha was great as well. And the fact that they're in a show together is super, super awesome. But her quote was, Kevin of Chaos was so fun. I've wanted very much to work with Catherine Hahn, and I think she's so great. Without saying anything, really, I had a blast. I love my character in that as well, and I think it's the most elevated Marvel material that's out there. So it was cool to jump into that world with those people specifically. Yeah, specifically. I can't talk tonight. She's apparently playing the main villain. So I don't know who that is.
Is that true? That's great. I love that.
Yeah, that's the rumor. That's the rumor. Which I think we all secretly hope is Mephisto. Right. If there's a Mephisto in the MCU, I hope it's I hope Miss Plaza is the one to take that in. Because I don't know who else could play it.
I'm looking at the cast for this show. The cast is like
It's pretty good.
musical as shit though. Like it's good
Yes.
cast, but
The-
everyone in it they can sing.
There was
Which
a lot
I'm
of rumors
really
of it
interested in
being
what this is gonna be.
There was a lot of rumors of it being a very like sing-songy show.
I'm also looking at some of the cast right now on IMDb. It's very clear they're starting the show off where it left, where the town, it's going to start in that town, and we're going to get the Always Sunny. That's not true. That 70s show, Mom is going to be there. Like, very curious where this is going to go and how she's like going to get out of it. And this will be interesting.
It'll be cool. We will see.
Yeah.
What else is going on? I think at this point we kind of get into all of the secret invasion stuff. I guess before we get into the show proper, and then I'll talk a lot about the news around
huge
it.
spoilers, by the way, going into this show.
Yeah, massive spoilers. Be very careful. We're not going to say anything yet, but if you haven't seen the show, definitely stop listening. And you want to see the show, definitely stop listening because it is a very major spoiler.
Like first 5 minutes spoilers kind of shit.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, sure. I forgot about that, actually. That is a major deal. Anyways, go watch the show if you want to watch it and come back and listen to the rest of the podcast. Did you guys see what they were doing on news broadcasts around the U.S.? Did you see the Skrulls? They were just popping up randomly and like the footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that type of shit. I love that type of marketing. They were just random people that would be like, they would do like an on-site thing where they're talking about something happening, and there's just a full in makeup Skrull walking on the sidewalk behind them.
Oh, I didn't see any of that. That's cute. That's fun.
There's one where it's like a Skrull as a cameraman in the studio, and he's on there for like 2 seconds, and he's just holding the camera, and then he kind of looks at it awkwardly, and they like go back to the regular.
Oh,
regular
do you
footage.
think? Oh, that checks out.
It's all like
on
ABC
News.
It's all ABC affiliates.
owned by Disney. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That reminds me of. Remember when that like Smile movie came out? And then baseball games behind the catcher, there'd be people sitting there like.
No, I don't remember
that. Shit was wild. I loved that. That was so cool.
That's a little creepy, yeah.
I love good marketing like that. That's always fun.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. I had some images of it. I might also have some videos of the different. I don't know if it's going to load properly.
Although it is weird that it was just Skrulls, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a Skrull. Like, I'm not even going to try to pretend I'm a human.
I was going to say, isn't their whole thing like hiding? So it's kind of like funny.
Yeah.
Jimmy's food store. This is so silly. Paige McCoy. Amazing. Fine Italian imports in Delhi. Jimmy's.
Yeah, so I think this one has a Skrull on the bottom left side on the right camera walk by. I think is where he pops up. They're talking about Jim. Yeah, there it is right there.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. The Skrull just walks by and they don't make any mention of it. He just like hurries along.
He loves Jimmy's. Because everyone loves Jimmy's.
Yeah.
I
Italian
love
imports,
Jimmy's
baby.
as well, yeah.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4. There's one from the I don't know. Is it KTLA? Jesse, you might recognize that. KTLA? Yeah.
KTLA.
KTLA. There's a.
I imagine they do it in
3 or
big
4.
markets like that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that marketing, the marketing around Secret Invasion's been pretty fun. I've been enjoying that type of stuff. We do have a little bit of news around the show. Then we can kind of discuss the first episode. Sam Jackson was doing an interview with Entertainment Weekly, and they were talking about how drones would fly over the sets for Secret Invasion with like cameras on them because people were trying to see what was going on, and they shot it down. And they shot it. He said Samuel L. Jackson was giving the quote, and he said, they shot one down. They followed one back to where the dude was. They found him, and then they got him. And so they like tracked the guy down.
I want to know about that. Like, we followed the signal. Like, that's
what I want to see. I want to see.
Yeah.
They need to do a Disney Plus show on like call it like keeping a secret, and it's all about like keeping the secret of the MCU or something. It's got to be phenomenal. You always hear every like actor talks about that type of stuff, where they like get the script, and when they get the script, they have to go to a nondescript room, and they get like put into a room and then literally locked inside of the room with someone like watching them read the script to see if they want to like accept the role, or just like crazy shit like that. I would love to see a film on or something, a documentary or something around those regards. It'd be super interesting.
Also, the fact that he can say that now, anytime I watch a show or movie or whatever, where like a drone is involved and they blow up the drone, they're like, there's no way to find out where this drone came from. I'll now be like, bullshit.
Marvel
That's
did
a lie.
it. Marvel did it. Yeah.
Disney has the power. They can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Who was this? They were speaking of Phase Zero, which is an MCU podcast. The director, Ali Salim, I think is how you pronounce that, was talking about that some of the episodes coming up, because there's only 6 episodes in this first season, or I think it's a limited series. So in this limited series, in the 6 episodes are, quote, considerably shorter than an hour long. And so I think we're going to get some like 30, 40-minute episodes in the next couple of things.
Considerably shorter is rough. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we talked about this when we heard that it was going to be 6 episodes. Like, this was definitely a film that was cut up to be a show on Disney Plus. Yeah, hands down.
But you know what? I'll take if instead of a 2-hour movie, it's a 3.5-hour movie that's cut up into 6 episodes. I'll take that any day.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that as long as it's good and pays off in the end. Like, all right, yeah, let's go.
I agree. Well, let me put up the spoiler tags, and we'll discuss episode 1 of Secret Invasion. Right out of the gate, there's some major spoilers. So if you don't want,
hi gang,
that's not a joke. Above
massive spoilers.
Bronze and Jesse, massive MCU related spoilers. Yeah, I haven't seen the I purposefully did not look at the conversation around it. I don't know if either of you two did, but the second that the end of the episode happened, I immediately thought like, that's gonna piss some people off. Is it pissing people off? Are you guys upset about it?
I don't know if it's pissing people off. Wait, so okay, the spoiler tags are up, so I can
spoiler
say
tag
it.
is
Can
up.
we say it?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Maria Hill's character is like most likely dead.
She's dead.
We don't know. We don't know.
The actress said she was dead.
But
shit, is that true?
Yeah.
That fucking like made me like giggle was apparently Colby Smulders, the actress who plays that character.
Yeah.
Said, I'm so excited for you guys to see this show and see a different side of Maria
Yes.
Hill. And people were quote tweeting it and saying, girl, what side?
Dude, I saw that quote before the show started, and it was like, you're going to get to see a different side and you really get to flesh out the character. And then I was like, oh, this is awesome. Then you get to the end of the show and she's fucking dead. Like, she just straight up dies.
My assumption was it was a Marvel thing because they had to leave her behind, right? And my assumption was, oh, this is a Marvel thing where she'll be fine, right? But her saying, no, she dead.
She said, so
that sucks. That sucks, dude.
The interview was with Vanity Fair. And she said, there's a multiverse now, so anything's possible, but I'm pretty sure this is it. And she said, it feels weird and strange. Maria Hill's passing is very real, but it's shocking and it feels very human. It was a sad day.
I mean, like, the problem was in this, and I just want to say this like up front for this episode. The first 5 minutes, we have a Ross reveal as well.
Now, go and finish your thought. I don't know if that.
Okay, so
we'll see.
We are like we've discovered that Ross, dead ? Is a Skrull. our first big Skrull reveal.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Was he always a Skrull?
That's the big
Is the
question,
Ross
right?
who was like getting it on with the new CIA director and like doing all that, like Wakanda Ross? Was he always a Skrull? Not explained, not gone into. But here's the thing. We can say potentially because the Skrull showed up in the 90s. And this dude has been around potentially the 30 some years. So he could always have been a Skrull. And I guess maybe it could have been like, oh, well, Shuri would have discovered that he was a Skrull when he was like sitting there in Wakanda doing the chair thing. But I honestly don't know. And if so, when did they separate? And if so, when did, because he was a bad guy Skrull, like a bad guy Skrull.
Yeah.
So did he kill Ross and real Ross is dead? Or is there another Ross? Or like it's just one of those things.
He might be like in the thing where he's getting his brain sucked or whatever.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like they covered it by like having that there.
Yeah.
I feel like they were like, oh, we can just keep them. Now we've got a way that if we ever want to have a character come back, we can say they're in the Skrull, they're in Skrull LA or whatever it's called.
But that's also the thing where it's like, now that we're in the weird Skrull verse, a lot of questions. So now, looking at Maria Hill, there was a shot when she and Nick Fury were Skrulls at one point. You know what I mean? Like, there's just...
But they were the good
I'm just
Skrulls,
like,
right?
I don't know that I trust any of this shit.
That was Talos? Is it? Oh, God. Is it Talos or Talos?
Yeah. Talos, not Talos.
Yeah.
Talos.
I knew there was a very distinct word. Yeah, that was Talos and his wife, who's now dead.
Yeah. Who we now discover his wife is dead.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the big motivations for his daughter, Gaia or whatever her name is. Yeah.
And so the one thing I did enjoy is that we got more explanation of the division between the Skrulls, which I think was needed because it's very confusing. And, hopefully we'll get more emphasis on like why there's a lot of confusing stuff happening in this show.
On purpose.
But I think that's the point because it's supposed to be like we're trying to solve the mystery together. So I don't know.
Which
but
I enjoyed.
from moment one, I was like, I don't know what to trust in this damn show anymore. I don't know what's fucking real. That was me.
I think that they did a very good job with that, right? Because from the jump, you see the CIA guy who's being fucking weird, and he's like, oh yeah, this has been a long time coming, blah blah blah, and you're like, well, this guy's kind of crazy, and then it's like, no, this is actually all real, and you're like, and then you're from that point on, every time I saw someone, and every time someone looked at the camera, I was like, that's a Skrull. That's 100% not a human.
They've certainly done the job of making you question everyone, and I think it's very smart, and I'm excited to see where the show goes. But like, also, it's the entire time I'm thinking like, I don't know what to trust in this show. Everyone seems like an unreliable narrator. I don't know what's real, and my hope is that we get direction. Because if it's 6 episodes of that at the end, I'm gonna be like, I don't know what I watched, bro. I don't know what we just saw.
Well, this is supposed to lead into Armor Wars, which is, I think where all of this, I hope it culminates in episode 6. I hope they don't leave it like, a Skrull gets away or some shit like that. But yeah, anyways, me and Jesse are kind of dominating conversation, Bruns. Feel free to jump in. What are your thoughts?
Take it away, boss.
I thought it was okay. Like I think that's why I'm so quiet. Like I went into it like super excited. Like, oh yeah, I'm very excited for the Sam Jackson show. And there's just like a lot of little shit that I was like, just like little tiny ridiculous things. Like for one, I don't like that they allude to so much stuff that like we haven't seen that's like off screen.
Like Saber.
So it's like
that was a problem. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like oh, the mom died off screen, but we're supposed to be attached to her. Like I'm like, and then like these two characters are close, but we've only seen the little girl version of that character for 10 minutes in Captain Marvel 10 years ago. So it's like you all aren't developing that on screen, and you're relying on us kind of filling in those blanks. And when it's such a big part of the story, it's just kind of like doesn't really work. And even like Maria Hill being like, yeah, I thought whenever we play chess, the policy is that you always tell me the truth. I'm like, I've never
played chess.
It's never been
screen.
a thing.
Yeah.
Like y'all have like a negative fucking relationship. I don't know what to tell you. Like I've never seen moments, but the other guy whose name I can't think of right now, old boy from S.H.I.E.L.D., that guy, yeah, I would say Coulson.
Oh
If it
yeah,
was like
Coulson. Yeah.
Coulson and Fury, I'd be like, yeah, they had tons of moments. But like, I don't know if I just don't remember, but like, I don't feel like Maria Hill and Fury are homies like that.
It was fair.
I think that's why
Yeah,
Coulson stood out. I
they
think that's
were
why
in so many
Coulson stood
different.
out.
They were in so many different films, and it was so segmented that I agree
Sterile.
with you. Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
but whereas like
it's
Coulson
established.
was the shield guy with personality. He's the
yeah,
one with the baseball card that wants to get it signed. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Established in Winter Soldier their relationship, which is good in that movie. It's very good, but Winter Soldier was 2014. It's been almost 10 years, and they haven't had
Well, they do it
a
in Far
major
From Home
together
too.
on-screen moment since. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a while, so I
Yeah.
agree with you there, Bronze. Like,
So like that's so we've got like the mom dying off screen and we're supposed to like and then we've got the relationship between the dad and the daughter, which once again we didn't get enough of that. Then we got the relationship between Fury and Maria Hill, which once again didn't get enough of that on screen. And then we got like a recurring thread throughout the whole episode, which is like Fury's not a threat anymore, you know, he's traumatized. And I'm like, that is also something that's like alluded to off screen almost.
they
And
do a little
we
bit.
see him have like one
Yeah,
flashback.
yeah, and that's it.
But it doesn't even I don't know, and I hope they build on it more, but it being such a major plot point of like the first episode of everyone being like, Fury's back from Saber, but he's not a threat anymore. He's old now. It's just like so weird because I'm like, bitch, that's Fury.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well,
is anybody buying this? Like, y'all should be shitting yourselves. Like, is anyone buying this?
the
whole,
other.
like, he walks with a limp now.
I don't. I think his limp is fake. I honestly think his limp is fake. I think he's doing that
This
on
is
purpose.
weird.
Is he
Like,
Is he Willy Wonking this whole like?
But,
gonna do
no,
a
he's
role
he's
in-
Kaiser saying it. If anything. But yeah, Bronze.
Okay.
You brought up Saber, and I had a friend today, and I had 3 other people message me and say, "What the fuck is Saber, and why is it mentioned so much?" And it's like, well, in the comics, you have like Shield, which is the defense of Earth, and Saber, which is
Mhm.
like the offensive aspect of the government, so to speak, the human forces. But like, they never explain that
Nope.
at all. It's in the comics, and it's in like the intro to the Marvels trailer,
Yeah.
where it says like Saber orbiting the Earth or whatever. But apart from that, they never explain what the fuck that is.
And I understand that they have 6
apart from
episodes.
the president, maybe, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I understand that they have 6 episodes to get into it, but you can't have that much off-screen story building like in your first episode. And so the first episode ends up feeling like a little disjointed to me because of that. And then there's like a lot of stuff that like they've never done in their other spy things, but they're doing it now, which is just like downright like cringy. So like there's like that
The owl
moment
thing?
where
Is that what
the
you're-
owl thing was like okay.
It was
I was
still
like,
a little
okay.
bit. I like.
It was a little bit.
Dude,
Even
what?
the whole
Yeah.
thing where she was like, the old Fury would not have been caught by 2 of my bagmen. And I was like, well, clearly he walked out in the middle of the night intending to be grabbed, right? Like, I knew that, but the fact that they're like, let's spell this out for you. I'm like, come on. Like, we know that he meant to. And especially because they veil it where it's like, a black man walking around Moscow by themselves, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And in my head, I'm like, he's hoping to stick out. But they have to they have to spell everything out. So her saying that, like, oh, you getting caught by 2 of my goons, I'm like, well, clearly he wanted to meet you. But then the other one that really stuck out to me, I just could not get over this, was like the scene where Maria Hill is like surveying the bomb. She's just like, the
looking
entire time,
around.
it's like you're supposed to be like looking at them, right? Like, oh, let me buy a pretzel, like Target moving left. And the entire time she's like this, like,
The infrared
moving?
shot, you
you're
mean?
moving. Yeah, with the backpacks.
Yes. Yeah.
She's moving.
It was
You
very
got her?
weird.
She's got 2 backpacks. And I'm like, everyone can tell. And when she's like following Daenerys Targaryen through the streets, she's so obviously following her.
She's
so
very bad at
obviously
telling.
going into a trap. And I'm like, how are you a shield agent? You don't blend in at all. She's just like
Yeah.
And I'm
in
like,
Russia.
and
Yeah.
then when she cuts around and goes in the subway, I'm like, clearly she's luring you because she knows that you're following her. So stuff like that, I was like, this is supposed to be a spy thriller. Like, why aren't you a good spy? Why are you so bad at this?
It
And then even like she knows that Skrulls are a thing. She gets shot and she's like, it was you. And he's like, no, it wasn't me. I'm like, girl, they can shape change. What makes you think your own boss, Nick Fury, shot you, bitch? Clearly, it was a Skrull.
well, I mean that
And
bad.
even
Yeah,
then,
she
the
died because
Skrull
she's a bad
shoots
spy.
him, and instead of shooting him again, does this.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. I
And
hated
I'm
that
like,
bit.
why are you standing there like?
Dude, the like first the girl that has the first thing that the bad guy turns into, where it's the girl with the ball, that was that was like straight out of a horror film, where she's just sitting there staring at fucking Fury, and Fury's like, well, that's fucking weird. Like, I would just shoot that person immediately. Like, why would you even wait?
Girl from The Shining is sitting here like,
Yeah, just draw your gun, Fury, and fucking unload, and the show's over.
so it was little shit like that. And then that it's the old boy from Peaky Blinders that's like the villain. And so, and seeing him just like shift and shift and shift, and then he's like, shh. And then Fury's like, let me take my gun out. And I'm like, the Fury in the warehouse 15 minutes ago busted a cap in that dude's ass.
Immediately,
No
yeah.
questions asked. This one is like, I need to think about this. And I'm like, why? He's clearly a Skrull.
Yeah. I like the reveal that it
We
was
got
all
5 more
characters.
episodes. That's why.
I love that it was like 4 or 5 different characters that were in the show up until that point. Like, it was the girl that was playing with the ball. It was the girl that was making out next to the river. It was the girl that like yelled at by her mom. I think that might have been the same first person. But all people that are in the show that are like, oh shit, like Gravik's, you know, three steps ahead of Fury this time, blah 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 blah. I enjoyed that aspect, but you're 100% right, Bronze. Like, fucking draw your gun and just shoot. You know what's going on.
Build up a villain that's like so smart and so ahead of the game, and then have them just pose for 30 seconds going,
Yeah, just take the shot.
like, why? No, he would have shot her and been gone. Why is he just?
Do you think they were like,
Why is
we
he
need that for the
standing
thumbnail on
there?
the YouTube clip?
No, it was.
Take the
I'm
shot.
crying, laughing, remembering it. Because if you go back, chat, and you go look at that screenshot, it is
You're gonna make me look right now.
It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's just so. Yeah, so the spy parts of it were so ridiculous to me, you know, because I was just like, Maria Hill knows how to tail somebody. Please, for the love of God, tell me she knows how to follow someone.
Yeah. I was honestly watching a lot of those moments and thinking like, man, Mission Impossible does like a really good job. Like, it made me think
Yeah.
of other like spy related films and be like, man, those Bond films do a really good job of like doing spy shit and not like, man, this is really good here. So that aspect of the show was definitely a little bit rough. Because the entire time it's like, where's the like mask thing? Like, wear a mask yourself so like you look like someone else. I don't know, like do some spy shit. But instead we get like him putting a little thing on an owl, which like we spotted as the viewer. So how the fuck does the super spy that's in the room with her or with him not see it on the owl? That was kind of weird. I don't know.
And also the fact that they point out like 18 times, and I don't know if there are black people in Russia, but they point out like 30 times that
you're a unicorn,
sticks
Nick.
out.
You stand the
They
fuck
literally
up.
say that. Like they
I
like
know.
point out like 30 times, like, you're black in Russia.
Yeah.
Like literally. And so it's like, okay, so how does he blend in? And they show him like at one point buying like shots for everyone. And he's like, oh, that's how we kept like the Cold War from going hot. So I
Yeah.
kind of like, I was like, okay, I kind of understand it a little bit. But it was just like, it was just funny to me that they literally say that he is, anybody can spot him. He's so conspicuous. But then they don't his entire crew doesn't do anything to obfuscate their appearance, to blend in. Like they do nothing. They're just like,
And I hope that was like their way of showing that like Fury is quote old and like out of the game, and then we know that he gets his jacket, right? Like the Fury jacket, because it's in the promotional material. So there's got to be a
Mhm.
point where, and maybe it's the Maria Hill. It might be episode 2 might be him like being down and out because of what happened to Maria Hill. And then episode 3 and onward is like, I'm fucking Nick Fury. Let's go fuck some shit up type deal.
Mhm.
But we'll see. I hope we get a Nick Fury with a rocket launcher over his shoulder moment, a la the like famous comics. But I don't know. That's a lot of ramp to just go straight to that. We will have to see. Jesse, I think you're watching some of the episodes.
So I just sent you a link to. It's already up on YouTube. The scene, because I was trying to get it on Disney Plus, and Disney Plus not working. The episode will not play at all. But the episode's there. I'm not sure what legally we can show on this podcast, but it is. I realized in the moment I didn't realize it because I think I was still shocked about what had happened. But in the moment, it's crazy because Fury's going through the crowd to try and find Maria. Maria's on the ground, and the dude, Bronze is right. The dude has the gun pointed down at her, and no one
and
shouts.
just
Nick
smiling.
Nick Fury doesn't shout like you there. He doesn't say anything. And while the crowd's panicking, the dude looks at her, goes,
yeah, right here.
and then yeah, but like go before that. I'm blown away by the I don't understand. Before that, he's smiling at her, and then he slowly looks up directly at Nick Fury, like,
yeah, no, that's
it's
the
like, wait a
shot.
minute,
Most
how did he know Nick Fury
bullshit.
was there?
Yeah, that's
How did he know?
shot.
Like, there's no sound. Like, how did he know?
Yeah,
it's a wild look.
yeah. Here's
It's so comical. It's so
here's him staring at
comical.
Hill. It was a thing. It was a lot. Like I was
His
not
Skrull
expecting
sense let
that.
him know. He was like,
Skrull sense.
because it's weird because I just watched it again and I'm just like, yeah, Nick Fury doesn't say like stop or he doesn't say anything, and this dude as the crowd screaming just looks directly up at Nick Fury with his like goofy ass like evil smile, and I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
how do you know that?
I think
he is 3 steps ahead. Oh shit, he's always ahead.
I
This
think,
guy
like-
knows what's up.
I think long narrative in terms of what they're going for here with Marie Hill dying at the scene. I think people are going to say that the U.S. is somehow involved in these bombings, and that's why, like, we're going to
They
get.
all saw former agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Nick Fury kill Maria. Yeah. That's why he's on the run and he's got no friends and it's him by himself. Yeah.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
so
No one will believe him that it's Skrulls. Yeah.
and I don't know how he gets back to the U.S. or how Rhodey gets to him, but 100% someone in the U.S. government has to be a Skrull. Otherwise, they wouldn't show the president, right? Or they wouldn't show Rhodey being like the president's right hand man. Someone in there
I'm telling you.
is a Skrull. I'm
telling you,
curious
Rhodey
if
is
it's
going to be a
Rhodey.
Skrull. I'm letting you know right now. He's going to be a Skrull, and the real one will show up at the end of this series to save him. I'm letting you know. Leading into Armor Wars, I'm letting you know. I believe it.
agree simply because of how quickly Rhodey's like, well, we know they're all friends, so we have to assume they've gone AWOL. It's
Yup.
like, I don't think Rhodey would sell him down the river that quickly. You
Mm.
know? That's not
Yep.
Rhodey energy. Rhodey seems like the type that would go to Fury and be like, you know they're gonna say you're AWOL. You know I have to cover for you, right? That is Rhodey energy of like, you know this makes my job harder. I'm gonna do it because I'm Rhodey and that's why people like me. But you know I'm really upset that you're doing this, but I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna lie for you. But
Yeah.
also,
Yep.
so as soon as he was like, yeah, we all know they're friends, so they must we have to consider them AWOL. I was like, Skrull, Rhodey would never do that. There's no
Completely agree.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a narc. There's no way. No.
Do you think? Let me ask you guys
No.
this, because this is what I'm generally curious about with the show, and I think that's kind of what the show was wanting to do. But there were a couple of I saw like Kevin Feige or an article that said basically Kevin Feige had to say no to a lot of things that they wanted to do in this show because of how it would impact to the greater MCU. Do you think they do any like crazy Skrull reveals apart from what we've seen already? Like any major superheroes within the MCU that come out to be a Skrull?
No.
You don't
I don't
think
think so.
you don't think I don't know if
I think
I don't think they could for just
the satellite stuff. I think like Ross and like we're gonna stick to like all the orbiters of the main heroes. I don't think we're gonna get something crazy, right? The craziest reveal would be that Rhodey is a Skrull. I think that would be the crazy.
I'm trying to think like who else, like who would fit the. Is Isaiah Bradley in this show? Isn't he
I
in
don't
this?
think so. Not that I've heard.
Isn't he? I thought he was
There's no
supposed to be.
way they make Isaiah a Skrull, dude. Not a million years.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, but couldn't they have? Couldn't like if a Skrull was going to be anyone within the MCU, it would be a super soldier, would it not? Like their
Yeah, but that like
powers are parallel.
invalidates the story of like that he told in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Sure, yeah.
Like that would,
But it could
that'd
be another
sort of
super
like a
soldier.
gut punch. Like they wouldn't do that.
I think, yeah, you're right. That would probably be too much for sure. I'm just trying to think who else it could be because I think Rhodey could be, but then I don't know. Would Rhodey have taken the? He probably could have survived the fall. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe U.S. agent or someone like that. I guess it would have to. I don't think anyone like super high level in terms of power within the MCU would exist as a Skrull, which maybe makes the show like less important in a weird way. Like if there's no big ramifications for the greater MCU, then maybe the show kind of sucks. Right? Like if Nick Fury is the only big part of this show, then I don't know. Because the other thing is timeline wise, where does this lead into the Marvels? Is this pre-Marvels, I guess? If Sam is like back and talking to superheroes in the Marvels, then that would have to be.
That's a good question. I don't know. This all, yeah, the timeline's a little wacky right now. I have no clue.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see because that comes out in the Marvels is in November, I believe.
Interesting.
So that's the next big film, and then right before that is Loki season 2 in October, and we still don't know what's going to happen with that. Because of Jonathan Majors and all that stuff. In terms, usually they'd be promoting that stuff here pretty soon, but they haven't even.
We know when Armor Wars takes place in the timeline.
I don't think so. No, I don't know if they've said anything. The Armor Wars currently has no release date. It was revealed. This is on January 23rd on Collider.com. It was revealed at the 2022 D23 event that would be taking place after the events of Secret Invasion and will tie directly into that. So there's the movie tie-in, I suppose. I don't know how Skrulls tie into like Armor Wars, but unless you put Skrulls within the like within the War Machine. Maybe Rhodey is a Skrull overall.
I mean, literally right now on the Armor Wars confirmed things are a writer and Don Cheadle, and that's it.
Yeah, there's not much.
So yeah, we know nothing.
Yeah, and a lot of that schedule wise and MCU wise, it all comes down to the writer strike, and we've talked about that and how no progress yet. So I don't even know if the writer for that is even confirmed anymore, if he's stuck around on the project because of all of the strikes. But yeah, all in all, I think Secret Invasion a decent start. I'm curious where we are in 5 episodes. Is the culmination him just like ending the Skrull attacks? Does he somehow find a planet for them? I don't know. I don't know what do they like announce to the world that Skrulls exist, and that's how the Skrulls lit. Like, I don't know. I don't know where we go with it.
There's also the big problem of there's still the universe and the universal Marvel of Skrulls and Kree, and like there's so much stuff, and we barely touched that yet. We're still dipping a toe into it, and it's kind of like, okay. I mean, I guess it. Where does this all fit in? What is going on? I don't know. There's a lot of questions. I guess we'll get Marvel answers in the Marvels, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. Because that's what after that movie, right? Captain Marvel, at the end of it, she sets off to find the Skrulls a home, and we kind of start this, and we have no idea what the fuck happened to finding them a home, and it's been 8 years, or no? I guess in
honestly, they
canon,
kind of
it's
got a
been 10.
point.
What's that?
Right?
Oh, with just taking Earth because they didn't get one. They didn't get a planet yet.
They could, yeah, they kind of. I also wanted to know Jesse's
got screwed
personal
a little
thoughts on
bit.
this. Jesse, gotta know.
Yeah.
Okay. So Fury is like, well, I can't come down to save her unless the threat to Earth is like truly bad. How do you feel about that in the context of the man in the ocean? That Fury didn't come down for that. I'm just curious. I'm just curious, like how you feel that a man came out of the clouds and was like, "Oh," I didn't like.
I think I'm more upset that
and he was like, "I'm still up here."
A man showed up.
It's not like a thing he talked about.
Yeah,
like it's not even a thing that he like from space. That was pretty crazy. Like I can imagine if he's in space and that happens on Earth. You know what I mean? Like I can imagine he's in space on the ship and like a thing starts to come out of Earth and then it turns to stone. Because by the time he would get down there, the fight would be over. That fight lasts maybe 10 minutes tops. But you can imagine a man sitting up in space being like, well, that's new. But no, dude, don't even talk about it.
No
one talks about it.
Not even that. What if seeing it was an Erishim that popped up on next to Earth and was like 4 times as big as the planet?
Yeah.
That would, the distortion of space-time would have knocked that ship out of orbit.
Earth,
yeah, they would have been like, yes, he was above radar at the time.
Yeah.
So he was not
true.
affected by it at all. It just, again, it is such a big plot hole that no one's discussing, and it drives me crazy. And if you want to know what I think it is hot
when he
garbage.
was like, "This is the first time something's been serious enough for me to come down." I was like, I wonder if Jesse's like screaming right now, like, "There's a man!"
No, I allowed it because I was like, "There's no way he could have made it in time to do anything anyway." And the battle was over so quickly. Like what? Like I was fine, but I do agree the fact that it's like, wait, you're not going to talk about like
they're eating a sandwich, like, whoa,
damn, check that shit out.
That's crazy.
He might know that the Eternals exist.
You can see that from up here.
Yeah, he might have been aware that the Eternals were like quote unquote handling it. So maybe he's just like, cool. I don't know. I'm giving too many.
This thing is huge. Like it was sticking out
of
of the planet
for Disney.
And he would have seen it and he would have been like, damn, that's crazy. But then, you're right. The fact that a giant space deity appears, making a black hole to come through, the distortion would have thrown that ship out of out of orbit. It would have knocked it away and he would have noticed that shit.
Jesse, I figured it out. Sam Jackson knows Blade and knows that Blade and the Black Knight got it figured out and they're going to go to space.
He's fine.
And they're
got
fine.
The call. Blade called him and was like, don't worry, Nick. I've got this. And he's like, all right, I'm not going to come to Earth.
I'm not coming down off my spaceship.
Me and my new friend, Black Knight, we're going to get in my Blade mobile and travel to the stars and save this dude's girlfriend from a space god.
On the back of the moon, watch out.
Which I must say, if that is the plot of the Blade movie, I am in. If Blade is just Blade and Black Knight in space fighting deities, I'm in. I'm in. That sounds amazing.
That might be why it's so fucking hard to write, where Mahershala Ali is just like, well, we got to go to space. We got to find a bunch of giant space deities. And I got the guy from Game of Thrones with me, so let's go do it. And then the writers are like, I'm going on strike, man. Fuck this shit. I gotta go.
Because the writers strike.
This shit's too hard, Disney.
Direct cause of the writer's strike.
I can't fit this shit into a goddamn script. Fuck this. I'm out.
I will say, speaking of Blade, they did lift the concept of the newest Blade comics for this show.
What do you mean?
Where it's like, So in the comic books, vampires can't really be affected by radiation. So in
Oh,
the Blade
right.
comic books, they all set up like in Pripyat and around Chernobyl because and they create their own vampire state.
Yeah.
And that's like a major plot in the Blade comics. And so when I saw that was now Skrull Town, I was like, someone read the Blade books and was like, we're going to put
Good
them in the
idea.
nuclear power plant.
I wonder if that's a thing that happens within the MCU, with like everyone reads the comics, right? Like comics are the main source of inspiration.
Mhm.
I wonder if they read exactly what you just said happens. I wonder how many times that's happened, but it's because they got to do their movie first that they just steal it from the other shit. Like, oh, that's
Right?
a
Where
great
they're
idea. Yeah, that's where
we're not gonna
we're gonna
pursue
post up.
Vampire Town
Yeah.
in anytime soon. So you can put the Skrulls there, you know?
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is it's got to be a conversation that occurs within those writing
Blade in
groups.
a spacesuit,
100%.
Black Knight in a spacesuit, jumping on the moon.
They're
and,
gonna
like,
join
a
the Guardians
big,
of the
giant god
Galaxy.
appears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be great.
Blade says a cool one-liner and then like stabs him in the eye. But the eye's so big, he's like he's like jumping to stab him. Like, I want it so badly. But I want it to be totally serious. Like, played so straight. Just no comedy. Just Blade being a badass, but fighting ludicrous things. Like tentacled beasts and giant space gods.
I'd be about
And
it.
meanwhile, Black Knight's like, I've got to save my girlfriend. She's like, I'm a robot. And he's like, I don't care, you're hot. I want this.
She is a robot.
So badly.
What if what
I'm
if
a robot.
what if Jon Snow stumbles upon the Eternals factory and there's just 1,000 Gemma Chans in front of him? You know. What does
Here's
he
the
do then?
thing. That would be a great ending for him where he's like, I'm going to stay here and protect them all. And they're like, but I'm a robot. And he's like, but you're hot. And Blade's like,
Y'all motherfuckers crazy. I'm out.
yeah,
He gets on his spaceship and rides.
flies away. But in my movie, Blade's spaceship is like one of those 1950s rockets where he rides the top of it and holds on and flies away in his like spacesuit.
Blade's spaceship is a coffin with 2 rockets on it. That's what it is. That's what he flies around in. He's got a little coffin.
Yeah.
Made out of adamantium, so it can not be. Anyways.
I want this so badly. This is the movie you know what? Yeah, throw in Moon Knight as well. Moon Knight's there. This would be the best Marvel movie they ever made.
But no, have Moon Knight be the only one that's aware of how stupid it all is, but he's crazy, so they don't like really take anything that he's
You
saying.
don't listen to him.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and Khonshu's just in the background like, I don't know what's
Jesse,
going on.
look, I'm gonna get a call from the WGA. You got to stop giving Marvel ideas. Okay, you're writing gold here.
Thank you for reminding me. I literally was about to say, I'm gonna write that script.
No, you
I
can't.
want to write that bootleg script of the.
The WGA is gonna get me.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got 5 more episodes. We'll cover them in the next couple of weeks. I don't know where we go. I hope that like I have so many fears now that the next episode is gonna be like so formulaic where it's gonna be, oh, here's Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury moping around for an episode. Oh, here's him finding like a secret bunker and getting some stuff back. Oh, here's him like figuring out how to get ahead of the Skrull leader. Oh, here's him taking him out. Oh, here's him and Talos like saying, why don't you just live on Earth and we'll announce to the world, I'm going back up to my spaceship.
Even on his like worst day though, Nick Fury is never just like, oh man. Like he always is doing something. So I feel like if he does,
that's also what makes the trauma seem weird. I'm not saying he can't be traumatized. But it would have made more sense if he was traumatized over seeing his friends get dusted versus over being dusted. Do you know what I mean? Because they cut back to it, and I was kind of like, well, you're a spy. You got to assume there's like, you're going to die, or it's a dangerous job.
Oh, you mean with him being blipped? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. I almost love how they handled
Flame Florence Pugh.
the new Black Widows.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Florence.
it was like coming back, like hers like made so much sense because it's like she comes back and everything, the bathroom's different, her house isn't her house, like, but they don't give us any of that. Like, I don't know what happened when he
I
got
hope they
blipped and when
expand
he
on
came
that.
back.
Right. I hope
Like,
they
you just
expand
see
on it
him
more.
disappear and he's like, and I'm like, but wait.
I mean, he does
I
kind of reference the idea that it's like you can do. Was it the British lady that says like you can do anything? You can try to like be steps ahead, but I think she even says the line, and then a Thanos comes along and and snaps his fingers and you're gone or something like that. Um,
Oh,
and I think that is kind of where his head is at, right? Like she said what he was thinking, perhaps. I might be giving them too much credit because I don't know.
But admittedly, that's like Nick as a spy, as someone in Nick Fury's line of work, as the person gathering the Avengers. Surely he would be the last person who's like, damn, at any moment I could go. Like, yeah, dude,
that's
that's
kind of
the
my
job.
question. Yeah.
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 Like you faced off against Ultron, all kinds of stuff.
I don't know if he
right?
was
Like,
afraid of. I mean, the flashback does kind of make it seem like he's afraid of his own death, but I want to say that the reason that he was doing that is that like everything he did with the Avengers and like Captain Marvel to like prep for Earth being protected, none of it fucking mattered. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to say there. I hope they don't leave it as open-ended as it is right now, because we very clearly got different things from that moment. So I hope they go back to it. And
well,
he
I'm also
gets to
like kind
expand on
of
it.
mad at the missed op because we've already seen that footage, so it was like kind of cheap of Marvel to reuse it. It would have been so cool to see it in first person. If you see
His
like from
hand.
his POV the thing in his hand, and then that would have been like so cool. And the fact that they didn't do that, I was like, you cheap bastards, you got money,
Well,
film it.
you got to think about it too. It's canonical that when you got blipped and you got unblipped, you came back to the spot where you got blipped. So that means that he
Mhm.
got unblipped when everyone else did, because it happened
Yeah,
also in the ICU. He's in the middle of the fucking street in like New
yeah.
York. Right.
Maria would be there too, right? They'd be together.
Right, but there's no car there, right? They just get blipped back in the middle. I mean, it comes into the whole question of like, I think they answered it when you get unblipped and you're on a plane, those people somehow were like in safe, right? Like I think that's what they said. But he
Yeah,
starts really,
Banner had made some kind of provision for them or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, when he
Yeah.
snapped. I think the Russo brothers said as such in like an interview, which like, yeah, that covers it. But then you really start getting into the nitty gritty of like, well, if they got blipped back in the middle of the street in New York and they got hit by a car, what happens? Right? Or like, maybe they blipped into a car. I don't know. I don't know what to think about all that. I do hope they expand on that though and give us a scene of like him being unblipped. Like if the next episode starts and it's him being unblipped, that would be cool. If we get to see what that looks like in the immediate, and get to see him be like, "Fuck this, I'm going to Saber," and then at the end we like catch up to the real time and it's him like dealing with the death of Maria Hill. That would be cool. It's not going to happen now because I've said it would be cool and I would love to see that. But
Yeah, you've ruined it. You ruined the whole thing.
I've ruined it all for everyone. Yeah, we're in a different timeline now because of that. But
I would love if they explored the idea of him being redundant. Because like I'm thinking of it from my POV because I loved when it's like, "Oh, what did you get for your midlife crisis?" And he's like, "The Avengers."
yeah, that was a
I
great
almost
line.
love the idea of like him coming back, seeing that the Avengers fixed everything and being like, "Do they even need me? Am I redundant? Like,
Sure, that'd be a cool
am I
line.
kind of washed? Is there no point to me? Like the group I made has rendered me useless and maybe that if that's where they're going, I love it.
That
If it's
could be
like
where
he
they're
goes off
going.
to
Totally.
Saber because he's like, well, they fixed it without me. They don't fucking need me. Nobody needs me anymore. I would like because it's so like it's like a little self-absorbed and a little like
It's a little Nick
anti-hero-ish, but I
Fury.
think that's what I like about it. So
Yeah,
yeah, because that would be me. I'd be like, I got you band of misfit losers together, and you were shit before
but
me, and then you fixed it without me, and now I have no job.
the only reason why I don't think they would do that that's too smart. Right? Like it makes too much sense for him to just like escape to Saber for. Because then at that point, like, does he have any like drive to do anything? If he's in space,
which is why Saber would make sense, right? Where he's like, well, I guess there's no use for me on Earth anymore. I'm gonna fucking go to space.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I hope they somehow touch on all of that, and I hope it's not just an episode of Sam Jackson like wallowing in the like, oh man, I lost Maria.
I'm gonna be so pressed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be so upset.
Yeah,
it better not be that.
Oh, that is a good point.
To not be that.
Icon in my chat says we saw him on quote vacation in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man. Remember that? They go up to him and he's barefoot and he's walking around Saber at the end of that film when it's revealed that Talos and his wife were playing Maria Hill and Nick Fury in England. The post-credit scene is them going to Saber. Or them already in Saber, sorry. I don't know.
But that adds more to the like, I came here because apparently people don't need me anymore. And I think it would actually explain why everyone's like, well, he's old and washed up. He's not a threat anymore. Because I think those throwaway remarks would then have like a narrative through line,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Because maybe it's a reflection of how he sees himself.
Yeah. We'll see. Jesse, what'd you find? Then we can wrap.
Why do you do this to yourselves?
I don't know. I need to start.
Every time we start a show or talk about a movie, the two of you sit here and you come up with some fantastical plot that sounds amazing, and we all know they're not going to do it. But here you are, like, that'd be really cool if that happened, though. And you get all worked up and hyped up about a thing that's never going to happen.
Jesse.
And I got to sit here and be like, yeah, no, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool if that happened.
What did you do right before we started talking? Tell me about your Blade script that you wrote unofficially.
That will never happen, so I can talk about it.
So
because I know that's never going to happen. You're saying
we need to be more outlandish. So we need to be like,
yeah, you need to tell me
Nick Fury's going to go fuck a Smurf, and like the Skrulls are going to somehow get a pocket dimension.
Turns out all Smurfs are Skrulls. Yes, that checks out. Okay, all right. That's a winner.
We need to be wilder, Bronze. We need to be
this
more
whole
kooky.
this whole like using logic and writing and through lines of characters and how each line is actually very important.
Guys,
and when they say this one line, it's not a throwaway. It's actually very important. Later on in 5 episodes, that's going to come back. That's never happening. It's never going to happen. Why do you do that to yourselves?
Guys, I figured it out. The Skrulls are going to find a new home in the Nor dimension.
That's a winner. See, now you're thinking with Cox. Yes, that's exactly correct. They're going to go to the Nor dimension, and there the Skrulls are going to finally find peace. Yes,
that's
we're talking.
That's why Miss Marvel gets involved in the Marvels.
Yeah, it all checks out.
Boom.
Yeah.
What's funny is like every time I hear Noor, as someone who speaks that language, I still always want to go Nor. You know how like when people
Nor dimension,
no, they go Nor. Nor dimension.
The Nar dimension.
That's what they call it in the show, Bronze.
It's the Nar dimension, bro.
Nor.
Nor.
Oh, Nar.
Okay, the final question of the show. Do they ever, from now till the end of time, does the Nor dimension get brought up in the MCU?
No.
Never again.
Never again?
Never
it's gone? Never at all?
Gone.
It's done.
It's
okay.
over.
All right.
Gone.
All right. Our hot takes. The Nor dimension is done.
Unless
MCU Crew stamped.
Blade goes there, in which case I'm in. There's only one way we're going to get through space, Jon Snow.
What is Blade gonna do there?
What is Blade going to do
gonna
anywhere? He's so fucking out of place.
Black Knight's going to be like, how do we get to space, Blade? And he's going to be like, there's only one
Keanu
way to get to
Reeves.
How do we get to space to save my robot girlfriend, Blade? And Blade's going to be like, there's only one way. Through the Nor dimension. He's going to cut a hole through the fabric of space and time. And he's like, You're not aware of this, but it's very close to our own. And also, for some reason, purple is shit. So we're going to go through the purple dimension and then pop out through the pathways of time and space in the base of the, I don't know, the Eternals or some shit. Don't worry, I don't think it too much. We're just gonna go. And then in the background, Moon Knight's like, whatever. And then they go.
That's great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Final thing. I'm gonna stop saying final thing after this. Did you guys see the Deadpool rumor for the potential cast? For it's like kind of spoilery. I almost don't want to say who it is, but they're going multiversal with that film. If this rumor is to be believed, of who's gonna pop up in there.
Like, can you give us an actor?
If I do, you're gonna know immediately.
Well, now I want to know. We have spoiler alert on. Screw it.
Spoiler alert's on. Ben Affleck is gonna be in that film.
That's funny. If that's true, that's funny. I like that a lot. I think that's, I love it.
I hope Jennifer Gardner's in that film too.
Oh my
or
God.
Bullseye. Put fucking Bullseye in there.
Oh, but if it's like
it's Colin Farrell.
90s Bullseye, Colin Farrell, holy shit.
Yeah.
Sign me up. So, he has like the actual, he's like, I drew it in my head. Yeah. I'm here for
Bullseye,
it.
yeah, Bullseye.
Oh my God, that film.
He does that.
We need
where
to
he
watch.
like taps it and he like says his name.
Guys, we gotta watch that film.
Great.
We need to watch Daredevil, Elektra. Wasn't there a second?
Dude, Elektra
Daredevil?
sucks. Like Elektra's just a bad movie.
I never saw
like,
Elektra.
Yeah.
Is it? Don't they just do like a bunch of like, what is it? The wushu fights? Like, isn't that just Elektra? Where she just
pretty
fights
much,
like demons and shit?
I would, oh my God, I would love it if they just, like, Wesley Snipes was back as Blade, and they got, like,
I think that's what that
Chris
film
Evans
is.
as Human Torch.
Yeah.
They just, like, did, like, that would be the greatest goof in the history of goofs. I would love that.
I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. Like, I think that's what that film is.
Love that it's just, like,
Nick Cage
Deadpool
is
kills
Ghost
the multiverse.
Rider.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me remove the spoiler tag. We'll do some shoutouts and call it a show. There's no watch along tonight. We'll probably continue watch alongs after Secret Invasion is over. So that's 5 episodes from now. So that'll be August-ish. And then we can probably fit in a couple films before the Marvels comes out. And or Loki starts, because I think that's October. So anyways, Bronze, do some shoutouts. What do you got going on? Tell the people where they can check you out.
Oh yeah, hi, hello. You can check me out on Twitch. Enjoy me while I'm here this week. Next week, I am going to Europe, which is something I definitely never thought I was gonna say. But yeah, I'm going to Europe for my birthday, so I'll be gone next week. So hang out with me this week.
Bronze is going to kick. That's what she was gonna say. Right, Bronze?
Oh shit! No. I already told you, JP. I already almost got in trouble for that because I was streaming on the front page and I wrote my title as "Taking Kick Offers" and Twitch staff like changed it, and then it said taking K offers, and everybody thought I was talking about drugs, and it was like way worse.
Like ketamine. I love it.
Yeah, so I was
I love it.
Oh shit!
This
I'm like
is great.
towing the line with Twitch. They're done with my shenanigans.
It's great. Wait, so are you here next week? Because you're in Europe. Are you Gonzo? We'll talk after the show. You can let me know.
Yeah,
after the show.
I have to figure out after the show.
Okay, that's fine. Jesse, shout outs, please.
Yeah, so I'm not allowed to write, so I just went to bard.google.com and said, write a story where Blade and Black Knight go to space to save Black Knight's space girlfriend from the Eternals. And it wrote, the year is 2023. Blade and Black Knight are standing on a launch bay of a space shuttle, preparing to embark on a mission to save Black Knight's space girlfriend, Cersei. Cersei is an Eternal, a race of immortal beings who have been living on Earth for 1,000 years. However, Cersei was recently captured by the other Eternals, who believe she is a threat to humanity. Blade and Black Knight are the only ones who can save Cersei. Blade is a vampire hunter with superhuman strength. Black Knight is a knight with a magical sword. Together, they're a formidable team. The space shuttle launches and the two heroes blast off into space towards Olympia, the homeworld of the Eternals, but arrive in the middle of a battle. And I'm going to leave it there because that's a good twist. What's happening? Who knows? That's it.
Isn't using ChatGPT considered crossing the picket line?
That's actually Google Bard.
Yeah.
So, if anything, that's what studios want. If anything, I'm
That just
actually
proves why you
ahead of the
can't
curve.
replace a Jesse. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna get stories like that. You
Truly,
replace
I
Jesse,
want you.
that's what you get.
That's it, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out to the MCU Crew. We'll be back next week, probably, unless Bronze is stuck in Europe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. See you guys then. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.